It all started with a heartbreaking event in Leslie's family, the loss of one of their dogs, and sadly, it was Leslie's favorite. Despite Leslie's usual strength in tough times, she struggled with this loss. She had always been skilled at hiding her worries and pains to shield her children from concern, but the death of her beloved pet was too much to bear. It was the first time I had ever seen her cry. Shortly after the dog passed away, Leslie's daughter, Sienna, mentioned that the family felt the need for a new pet. So Leslie went to an animal shelter to adopt one, but with a twist. She specifically asked to see the oldest dog, regardless of any medical issues it might have. Aware that older dogs in shelters often struggle to find homes, Leslie was determined to provide one with a loving forever home. It was precisely this dog that Leslie was on the brink of offering a forever home to. But what was it that moved the shelter staff to tears? At Leslie's request, they introduced her to Sam. This poor animal had languished in the shelter for over 6 months, unwanted by anyone. Even the last person who adopted Sam returned her after just a month. All of this piqued Leslie's curiosity, especially when the staff confessed that Sam was quite a handful. Nevertheless, Leslie was determined to uncover Sam's story, which unfortunately turned out to be a tragic one. At only 7 years old, Sam had already endured a lifetime of hardship. Afflicted by a severe skin allergy, she bore painful masses on her skin and suffered from hair loss. She was the type of dog that most people wouldn't give a second glance to. Yet, somehow, Sam managed to touch a tender spot in Leslie's heart, prompting her to rewrite the narrative of this neglected animal's life. Just as arrangements were being made for Leslie to take Sam home, another unexpected turn of events unfolded. You see, Sam wasn't the only unadopted dog in the shelter. Then there was Brutus, a 13-year-old dog in deplorable condition, sadly overlooked by potential adopters. He was utterly solitary, lacking even the enthusiasm to engage with other animals in the shelter. His time was running short, and the grim reality of euthanasia loomed over him. Perhaps sensing this fate, Brutus would often retreat to a corner, resigned to his impending end. Leslie found herself in a dilemma. Upon learning about Brutus's plight, she felt a strong pull towards him as well. However, there was a complication. She had come to the shelter with the intention of adopting only one dog. With time ticking, Leslie needed to make a quick decision: Sam or Brutus. The staff manager provided more details about the dogs and their specific needs. Sam, for instance, required a special diet to address her skin condition. But what had Sam done to be returned to the shelter by her adopters each time? It turned out that Sam struggled to get along with other dogs, causing disruptions in her new homes. On the flip side, Brutus had also been placed with a foster family at one point. However, after a few months, he began exhibiting severe separation anxiety along with multiple medical conditions. It might seem like a handful for anyone to take on. One could easily have said, "No, not any of these. Next, please." But what did Leslie do? The shelter staff made every effort to ensure Brutus was never left alone. Despite their best efforts, nothing seemed to alleviate his anxiety. One staff member even allowed Brutus to spend time in her office, hoping for some improvement. However, it seemed that maybe the shelter environment wasn't right for him. Ultimately, the staff decided that Brutus would be better off with Leslie. They believed he was a more suitable candidate for adoption. Meanwhile, for Sam, today wasn't the day. Perhaps another time, maybe tomorrow or the next. As the staff made these arrangements, Leslie had other thoughts on her mind. While the staff favored Leslie choosing Brutus, they understood that the decision had to be hers. They patiently awaited her decision. Both dogs held a special place in the staff's hearts, making it challenging for them to determine which animal should be given a chance at a better life. As much as the staff at the shelter wished for someone else to arrive and adopt one of the dogs, they knew that was unlikely. One of the dogs would have to remain behind. The question was, which one? After a few moments of contemplation, Leslie opened her eyes and locked gaze with Brutus. In that instant, she felt a deep connection with the sorrowful dog and decided he would be the one to go with her. As Leslie announced her decision, the staff erupted in joyful cheers. However, their elation was short-lived. To their surprise, Leslie continued, "Now looking at Sam, I will go with her too. I will also take Sam," Leslie declared, beaming at the fortunate dog. Suddenly, everything seemed to be happening in a whirlwind, leaving the staff in disbelief. They thought about the challenges the dogs had faced and couldn't believe what was unfolding before their eyes. Now, the chapter of uncertainty was closing. Despite their efforts to hold back tears, the staff couldn't contain their emotions and let them flow freely, overwhelmed with joy. They quickly captured moments of Brutus and Sam, sharing their heartwarming story. We couldn't believe it. We introduced Leslie to Sam, who had extensive medical issues and had been with us for 5 months, adopted, then returned. And Brutus, who suffers from severe separation anxiety, was with us for 5 months and was originally surrendered to be euthanized at 13 years old. We vowed to give these 2 amazing dogs their second chance, no matter how long it took. Today was their special day together, the shelter shared. Describing Leslie's home as a 3-story house with ample space, the staff expressed their joy in knowing Sam and Brutus would spend their golden years in a loving environment. As Leslie led the dogs to her car, she couldn't take her eyes off the sweet souls who had endured so much hardship. Speaking to them in a soothing tone, she'd assured them that they now had a forever home and a family who would love them as they deserved. To Brutus, she promised to share his pains and fears, making them her own. They would journey through every moment together, whether sad or joyous. Promising Brutus, now Bruno, that he would never experience loneliness again, not even for a moment, Leslie settled into her car with the dogs, ready to embark on their new journey. Outside, all the staff members had gathered to bid a bittersweet farewell. Not a single dry eye could be found among them. Leslie's incredible and selfless act had rendered them speechless. She believed that every animal, regardless of appearance or behavior, deserved a second chance. Under Leslie's care, these 2 dogs, who had endured a rough start in life, found a new and better existence. Bruno, formerly Brutus, emerged from his shell, while Bella, once known as Sam, became more accommodating. Perhaps, deep down, even the most challenging animals harbor a soft spot, and it takes extraordinary individuals like Leslie to uncover it. Leslie's kindness and compassion didn't stop there. This wasn't her first act of rescue. She had previously adopted over 50 dogs in need of a peaceful home. Every day, shelters tirelessly work, holding on to the hope that someone like Leslie will walk in and give a chance to the animals that almost everyone else says no to. Sam and Brutus are just 2 examples among millions of dogs waiting and hoping that one day someone will come to change their story. Grateful for their newfound opportunity at love, Sam and Bruno cherish their second chance, knowing that this time it's genuine and enduring. With Leslie by their side, they are confident that they will never have to return to the shelter, no matter the challenges they may face. Reflecting on that unforgettable moment, staff member Meredith remarked, "It's been a while since I've heard someone say, 'Give me your 2 dogs who have been here the longest with special needs.' We were all taken aback.